Shalom, Yasha'Allah. First and foremost, I'm going to get all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash, the Bahanasai apostles and elders at Great Millstone, who rule well. And peace and blessings to the hopeful that's pushing this great gospel in sincerity and truth. This your brother Tazakai Yahweh from the Great Millstone, Indianapolis camp. Coming at you another lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, and Lord willing to be edified. Got an article here from the NBC News, and it reads, FDA grants full approval to Pfizer's Crown. The Crown, So, we can't say too many things on here, but it says what? Experts praised the decision, saying approval could help ease some vaccine hesitancy and pave the way for more, victorious. So, as you can see, they give you a little idea in that little picture. But this came out August 23rd, 2021, the year of hasten to come of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai, and it reads, the Food and Drug Administration, or FDA, granted full approval to Pfizer BioNTech. You see it Monday for people ages 16 and up, making it the first Crown Vanessa to pass this final regulatory hurdle. The FDA's approval of this Victoria is a milestone as we continue to battle the Crown pandemic. Acting FDA Commissioner Dr. Janet Woodcock said in a statement, while millions of people have already safely received the Crown Victoria, we recognize that for some, the FDA approval of a Vanessa may now still instill additional confidence to get, Victorian. So it says today's milestone put us, and I'm just gonna use different, names. Those who don't know, hey, this is for you. But those who don't know, hey, you need to get hip. Need to be paying attention. They say today's milestones put us one step closer to altering the course of this pandemic in the U.S. They say full approval may help persuade some vaccine hesitant people to get Victoria. It's like Vanessa. I'll say that one. A Kaiser Family Foundation survey from June found that 3 in 10 Vanessa adults would be more likely to get the, if a vaccine were fully approved. It say the FDA's decision may also pave the way for more vaccination. Many businesses were waiting for full approval before they required employees to be vaccinated. Public health experts praised the decision. So, hey, it's time to, pretty much put your money where your mouth is and really show that faith that, a lot claim to have, because it's going to come a point in time where them businesses, they got the green light now, so they can say, hey, for you to continue to work here, you got to go ahead and go get punched up somewhere, and guess what? Hey, we understand that that's ultimately against the laws you have about Shema Shai, and ultimately we know those who consent is going to ultimately consent to the Mariota, that Karagma, you know what I mean? So hey, this ain't that grand hour of temptation, but it is a temptation, if you will, So hey, we see, where your faith lies, Lord willing, those are the sincere, hey, we know we endure to the end through all things. They say we are ecstatic with anything that could potentially get even one single extra person Victoria, said Dr. Joseph Cabaza, pulmonary and critical care specialist at the Cleveland Clinic. Full approval could not come at a more important time, as the highly, that thing continues to drive up caseloads and deaths across the U.S. Oh, and I also just got an article where they said it's a more deadly, a more deadly one is on the horizon. So it says, Dr. Richard Besser said in the statement. Besser is the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation president and CEO, and a former acting director of the CDC. I am hopeful that full approval will address any remaining concerns. It will move many people to a yes on Victoria, So that's what they're hoping. Still, Besser said the lack of vaccines in middle and low income countries represents a global failure. That means what? Need to push out more. It's adding that ensuring an adequate supply of Victoria in every country and community must be a health, economic, and moral imperative for the world. So you hear those words, so you know what that means. It's a Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla in a wide-ranging interview Monday with NBC's News Lester Holt. Jake, El Manazabah definitely love using his their news clips, but when he be hosting, it said the FDA's full approval should help ease hesitancy and convince more people to get punched up. It say for those people that they were a little bit reluctant because they wanted to see full approval, now they have the full confirmation of one of the most respected agencies in the world, the FDA, that the Victoria is effective and safe, he said. Bourla also championed a need for a booster. The booster will be needed because of the combination of that flavor and the fact that the immunity after 6 months starts waning. So a booster, punch is a must. So it's a must that you get this. It ain't if you want to, a must. Let's say last week, federal health officials announced that starting September 20th, people who received the Pfizer Victoria will be eligible for third, 8 months after their second one. The FDA has not yet signed off on a third for the general population. However, people with compromised immune systems are able to get the extra, punch. Now, like I said, that D word right there, can't say that either, so that's why I ain't saying it, because I got flags for saying that, so just bear with me. Say Pfizer's vaccine is one of 3 in use in the U.S. Moderna has also applied for full approval, also known as a biologics licensing application. Johnson & Johnson has not yet applied for full approval. It remains in use under emergency authorization. Pfizer's product was the first Crown vaccine to gain emergency use authorization in December. As of Monday, more than 204 million doses of the Pfizer Slovakia. 204 million of the Pfizer vaccine have been given in the U.S., according to the CDC. While Monday's approval does not cover young people ages 12 through 15, that group can still get the Pfizer vaccine through emergency use authorization. No Crown vaccine has been authorized or approved for use in children under 12. Those are expected later this fall or winter, so they're expected, so they know that eventually it's going to come to pass. Approval. Full approval by the FDA of any medication means that doctors are able to prescribe. We're going to keep that word in mind. Prescribe the product off-label, a practice in which doctors prescribe approved drugs for unapproved uses. Off-label use is common, according to the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality. 20% of prescriptions are written. 20% of prescriptions are off-label. For example, the diabetes drug metformin is sometimes prescribed for weight loss because one of its side effects is to lower a person's appetite. So they just want to just drug you up, just give you whatever. All these things that's prescribed, they got one. Pretty much it's to ease whatever the issue is, not to fix it, but everything else, some side effect, boy, you done there, tasting, eating death, pretty much. But it says full approval of Pfizer's vaccine means that technically doctors can give the punches to kids 11 and younger. However, the FDA and pediatricians strongly discourage the practice. So just because they strongly discourage don't mean that it can't be done. Cite the lack of safety and efficacy data. I think that's how you say it. But let's say we are not recommending that children younger than the age 12 be Victoria with this. Vanessa, it would not be appropriate, Woodcock said during a press briefing Monday. But then what's going to ultimately happen is, as you've seen around, especially in my hometown, Illinois, they sitting around, males that some students was around, some people with the Crown, and now, your child may have it, this and that and the other. So it's going eventually it's going to be a cry for younger children to receive it. But I speak as a man. Who knows? It's a but it's going on to say Victoria for young children will likely be lower than what is currently given to teens and adults. Kids are not just small adults. Like I said, we really will have to have the data and the appropriate, before recommending that children be vaccinated. Dr. Natasha Berger, a pediatrician in Overland Park, Kansas, and a national spokesperson for the American Academy of Pediatrics, said that overall, clinicians are unlikely to use the vaccine off-label in children. We don't give vaccines off-label. That'd be very irresponsible. Berger said. The AAP urged parents of younger children to wait until the clinical trials in kids are finished. The clinical trials for the Crown vaccine in children ages 11 years old and younger are underway, and we need to see the data from those studies before we give this vaccine to younger children, the group said in a statement. So, there you have it. Like I said, this definitely, I know brothers and sisters done heard the news yesterday, but I had to get my little tidbit on it. But you gotta understand that, these devils, and hey, we're glad that this happened. The Lord is, hey, He making things move faster and faster, and hey, we don't want them to ease up at all. We want to keep us pedal to the metal. But you gotta understand why these devils, like I said, you may say, like, man, they moving fast with this thing. Well, you gotta understand this. Job chapter 14, verse 5, they say what? Seeing his days are determined, right? His days, who is his? Esau, Edom, the Edomites. Their days are determined. The number of his months are with thee. Thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So the Lord Yahweh Bashim Shai has appointed his bounds. He has an appointed time where he gonna be taken out. Like I said, he gonna try to fulfill his NWO, and ultimately we get to that point, and the Lord gonna rain down upon him. He gonna, ultimately, pull that, when he about to take that last bite, when he about to fill his belly, gonna pull that tape, that plate from underneath him, so he won't be able to finish it. But the main reason why they moving so fast is because why? Because they, as I said, seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, that has appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. It's a set appointed time, a boundary that he cannot pass. And they know this. That's why we have scriptures, to tie it together. Revelation chapter 12, verse 12. It says what? Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them, right? Woe to the inhabitants of the earth. It say woe, death and destruction. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil Esau Edom is come down unto you, having great wrath. Why is he coming down having great wrath? Because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So these elite, these bacon families, like I said, of course, it's definitely elites of other nations, but Esau Edom, they know that they have a short time, so they gotta they gotta push forward with this thing. That's why they not holding back, pedal to the metal. But that's good, so we ultimately know, man, they about to come after the people. But you got to be rooted and grounded in Yahweh Bashim Shai. So hey, when these things come to pass, when these temptations come, you don't fall to it, because this is a precursor to this. Don't play me now. Oh, there he goes. This is a precursor to this. Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, right? So since thou hast kept this word, this truth, this wisdom, this knowledge and understanding, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. Say, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. So you can't do nothing on your own willpower or your own might. It's the Lord who put the Spirit on you to be able to do so. It say what? And that the hour of temptation, ultimately, this is going to the, the Mariota, the Quran one. This is what this going to, but this is also can be considered. This could be considered that precursor to the hour of temptation, because it is a temptation as well. This is a test of the trial of your faith to see if you're going to side with, Esau Edom, or you're going to trust and believe in Yahweh Bashim Shai. It say what shall come upon all the world, right? It's not this thing is approved for all of the world, and they just select now that they have who they target, you Negroes, Latinos, and Americans, but also as to their people as well. Oikoumene. That's what that word means right there. The whole that inhabited earth. It say what? To try them that dwell upon earth. Right? Behold, I come quickly. Hold fast what thou hast, that no man take thy crown, because if you submit to these temptations, whether it be this, the jab or the actual charagma, man, if you succumb to that, man, that's how your crown gonna be taken from you. That's gonna be that man, because it's gonna be a man who institute this to happen to you. This ain't gonna be no, no guy that's, got blood red skin and, got horns and a 3-piece suit, smoking a cigarette, with a flask, no, this ain't gonna be what you wait though. This man, these people who's in charge is Edomites. Start with the elite, on down. They are the wicked that the earth was given. The earth, that the Job 9:24 speaking of. Let me see. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. Right. So yeah, had a little, fumbling there in the mind. But but that's the point. Yeah, this is a temptation that's going to be. This is a precursor to the great temptation that's going to happen. So like we say in the spirit, man, if you take this, man, you're going to take the charagma. No doubt about that. But to those who fear, right? Those who fear the Lord, right? This is Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 verse 1. There shall no evil, right? Evil mean a bad time. So nothing bad happen unto him or she that feareth Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But in temptation, right? Is this not a temptation? Is this not a test, a trial? But in temptation, even again, right? Because you're going to go through multiple. Right? It's multiple temptations that's going to be presented to us, but we know that ultimate temptation. But like right here and now, like I said, this is another temptation, right? But the temptation, even again, he will deliver him, man. So continue to believe in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Those, sincere brothers and sisters, continue to believe. Like he said, man, he going to deliver you through, it don't matter what. He said, well, no evil going to happen unto you if you continue to, fear Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, reverence him. Look, 144, Brakatah Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, right? I'm gonna cut this a little short, because I definitely, got to go back in. But this is Sirach chapter 2 verse 10. It say what? Look at the generations of old and see, right? Did ever any trust in the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai was confounded? No. Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? No. Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? And the answer is nobody. Right? The Lord say what? For the Lord Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering, and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in the time of affliction. This is a time that when we coming into Jacob's trouble, and this is a time that can be afflicting unto you. When you get hit with that email saying, this is what you got to have by this set day, or you can't work here no more. These things are going to come to happen, but what it say, man, you got to, he said, look at the generation. We look at our forefathers like Moses, Joshua, Caleb, who's that, Eleazar, Meshach, Shadrach, Abednego, Daniel, even Yahushua, he wasn't forsaken. He may have felt like it, but ultimately he wasn't, right? Yahweh is always with us. He's always with his men, So hey, but you gotta believe that, right? And that's why I'm gonna end though. You gotta believe that. You gotta have faith. They call us faith-based Israelites. You damn right. You are to have faith. That's ultimately what you're gonna be saved by, your faith. Yeah, you show your faith by your works, but if it's just works alone, you're not gonna be saved. This is Hebrews 11:1. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Right? That's what faith is. Verse 6. But without faith, right, it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. And what's that reward you receive? Ultimately, salvation, deliverance from whatever that may come upon you in these perilous times that we enter to you. But ultimately, that reward to get beamed up and receive that crown from Yahweh Shai. That's what we leaning towards. That's what we lean. That's what we want. Being the hopeful, let Lord, we be at that number. And there's another point I want to get here too, because what does it say? I'm just going to jump down, or I'll just read down to it. Woe be to the faint hearts and faint hands, and the sin that goeth 2 ways. Woe unto him that is faint-hearted, right? Because why? For he believeth not. So if you don't believe not, what does it say? Therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience, and what shall you do when the Lord shall visit you? And ultimately, you're going to be able to do nothing but receive the judgment that he have allotted for you. So that's why I say, if you believe not, therefore you're not going to be defended. So you better believe and continue to confide and trust and to follow the ways of Yahweh Bashim Ashai to the best of your ability, having that faith. Or if not, hey man, you're going to be allotted to death and destruction like the rest of this world, to the rest of the undesirables that's going to be judged. You know, so hey, brothers and sisters, just keep the faith. You know, like I said, we almost there. We at the end. We got to keep pushing. You know, keep believing. You know, keep inquiring day in and day out, meditating. You know, in hopes that the Lord will have mercy upon us, that compassion that He spoke about. You know, forgive our sins to save us out of those times of affliction, right? So, Lord willing, you know, this lesson was edifying to sincere Akim Wa Akwaf out there listening. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, the honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that push this great gospel in sincerity and truth. Hey, man, hey, no matter if it's mandatory, they approving it and saying this and that. Hey, we know our faith tells us what? Well, the scripture tells us what? To not to consent to receive no jabs or nothing like that. So just remember that. Keep the faith. You know, like I said, yeah, again, you know, I gotta say it. All praise to Yahweh, Bashim Abashai, Bashim Kakudash, the balance of our apostles, that was a great millstone, and peace and blessings to the hopeful, like, Shalom.